YouTube, I think. Great to be there again. Weather-wise, we have 15 degrees and sunshine today. Very nice weather. We will get more tomorrow and the day after, and Friday and weekend, but not so hot. Will be something like 12, 13 degrees, but I'm quite happy with that. No problem at all. Oh, radio-wise, I haven't done much because I had a flu. I still have I'm at the end of the flu, I hope. The last 4 or 5 days, I feel a little bit miserable with the flu. So I haven't done much. I had the intention to take part over the weekend in the PSK 63 Spanish contest, but I really had no energy to do that. So I just keep calm and was sitting in the sofa and enjoying some other things anyway. So on the next one, I will tell a little bit more about what I enjoyed each time. So back to you, M0 AUG, the group 08 November Tango.
Okay, November Tango in the group M0 AUG returning. You're following that, Jeff, and sorry to hear that you've been a victim of the flu. And I hope you're on the better side now and that you'll fully recover in a day or so. Hello to you there, Martin, G4WJX. Thank you for joining us again, M0AUG. Here from G4WJX and the group. I seem to have lost the audio on YouTube. I tend to listen to that in one ear just in case my audio disappears, because it has a couple of times. So I'm not sure what happened there. I think the net connection's still good, but just completely lost the audio feed on YouTube. Anyway, weather here has been very good in Stoke. I've been doing a little bit of extra volunteering at the local wildlife park that I normally do 1 day a week. I've done 2 days this week because the weather was so nice. Enjoyed sitting in with the meerkats and doing a little bit of work with them. Radio-wise, I've been doing some work on the aerials in the garden. I don't have a lot of space in the garden, so my main antenna is just a simple vertical, about 4.5 meters tall. So I've been just doing a little bit of work on that, and I'll explain what I did on the next over. And also been up on the ladder at the side of the house, pulled down an old 50 meg half wave and put up another antenna, which hopefully will come into use in a while. I took a picture of that one, so I might send that picture at the end. Other radio-wise, been doing mainly FT8. I've been trying to knock off a few of the American stations. I'm trying to get the QRZ 250 award. I'm up to about 180 now. I think I've added another 10 since last week. But not a huge amount of other work other than what I've been doing with my aerials. So back to you there, Jeff. M0AUG in the group, G4WJX. G4WJX in the group, M0AUG returning. Yeah, thanks for that, Martin. Sorry that you've lost the slogan on my YouTube channel. And I hope the other listeners on the YouTube channel are enjoying it this evening. They will no doubt be able to comment when it's his turn as to whether there have been any issues on there, Martin. And thanks for the advance. You'll have a picture for us at the end of the day. Okay, back over to Keel now. TG60AY group, M0AUG.
Yeah, DG60AY back. Yeah, from what I've heard, so the conditions were not so good at the last weekend, or at least average only, and have been improving. That is nice because on this Sunday, there will be another activity at U995, the submarine nearby Kiel. This is not my activity this time. Another ham radio operator will be doing that. It's called Delta Lima 6W Mike Wolfgang. And he's usually, I know he's usually operating an SSB. If FT8 is not your mode, then, and that you are an SSB operator, then that will be a chance to work that submarine. I will join him, but just as a kind of support. So I will not be at the radio. It's his operation there. Probably like from 9 a.m. UTC to something like 14:30 UTC, and I will provide internet for him with my tools that I have collected, so that he can spot himself. And you will have to just to take a look at, I don't know which kind of JX cluster or service, but you might find the usual call sign of Delta Kilo 0 Delta Mike Bravo on the air, and this time in SSB. I will provide him internet, and my support will be will consist of playing with the visitors, the CW decoder, and the small enigmas that I built, and we will see who's having more fun. Wolfgang likes to operate, and the radio is also a great port operator and activator. I saw that he has 264 activations in his logs, and he worked all parks of the northernmost state here in Germany, all parks of Schleswig-Holstein, I think 46 parks or so. But he's also interested in the submarine, so if you'd like to work the submarine in SSB, take a look on the spotting sites if he's being spotted, and there will be some in the background. I'm thinking about using DStar. I could set that up, but I don't want to promise that I'm listening on DStar, but I could try to get everything working. So much for that, and back to M0AG from the group.
601 the group, M0AG returning. Yes, I know that's rank, and that's fine, and excuse me, I have to drop carrier then. Just to make no for everybody's benefit, if you or any of your friends want to do some tests with DStar, we're quite happy to use 305D at any time during the week as well. So if you're stuck for somewhere to go, and whilst you want to do some experiments or whatever, then 305 Delta is available to you. The only time that we don't make it available is obviously on Thursday evening when we use it for that. So thanks for that, Frank. Over to you, Ralph. K5 ULE group M0AG.
M0AUG, K5 ULE in the group. I don't know much else to report here. Just got back from seeing the grandkids a couple of days ago, and just to head back out again. So we're enjoying the peace and quiet. Actually going to a ham fest this weekend. It's about 110 miles from here. It's the St. Patty's Day Swap Fest there in Midland, Texas. And we've been going every year, so we're almost packed out, ready to go. And we're going to go over and hang out for the weekend and see a bunch of hams that I'd only see at the ham fest. Even though I live in the same town with them, we don't catch them on the radio. We catch them in person at a ham fest 100 miles away. Go figure. So we're going to go over there, have a good time, and come back, and then we got to head back up to see the grandkids when we get back. So hopefully that'll be all the road trip for a while. We'll have more time to work in the office and get back on the radio some more. So back to that. K5 ULE, San Angelo, Texas.
K5 ULE in the group M0AG. Yeah, thanks for that, Ralph. That's what happens, isn't it? You have people who you've got in your hometown, and you travel 100 miles to go to a rally to meet up with them. And that's how it goes. That's the hobby, isn't it? And as long as you enjoy what you're doing, that's the main thing. And, thanks for your contribution to that this evening. And, so over to you, Lou. GAKJJ in the group, M0AG.
M0AUG in the group, GAKJJ. Yes, thanks, Jeff. And I hope you enjoyed the Humfest, Frank. I'm sure it'll be very interesting. And I hope Jeff is recovering quickly from the flu, because I know what it can be like. It's it's not pleasant. But anyway, the reorganization of the shack is a change of direction for me because the satellite project hasn't been going as well as I'd hoped. So with the current system, I use an ICOM 7100 for the transmission and an SDR console for the RX. But there is some desensitization of the front end on transmit, and I've tried various ways of curing that. Obviously using the filters built into SDR console, but and I've tried duplexers to try and keep out the RF, but it certainly improved it, but it didn't work as well as it needed to. So I've changed direction, and I've been looking around for a full duplex rig. And the only one that's available at the moment is the IC 9700. There used to be more than that a few years back, but new there's only the 9700. So I took the plunge and purchased one, and that's why I needed to reorganize the shack, because it's only 8x4. It's really a large cupboard. I think it would make a great shower room, but I think that was the intention when we had the extension. But I commandeered it for the shack, and I had to clear a lot of junk and rearrange things so that the new rig could be fitted in. But it's in now and looks very smart next to the Kenwood 590. And it's working on FD8, which I spent some time playing with it today and got it working on FD8. There was a problem. There's always a problem when you've got a new rig, setting them up. The PC was not working as it should. It changed the COM port, didn't tell me, and of course I didn't notice. And the thing that you should always check is the COM port is set up, but of course I didn't. So I spent quite a long time sort of scratching my head and thinking, well, why isn't this working? Anyway, it's now time to get to grips with satellites, hopefully. Fingers crossed. So back to you, Jeff. M0 JJ.
G8KJJ.
JKJJ in the group M0AJ, thank you for the update on the shack, etc., and also for the new radio. And Jeff in Belgium, Oscar November 8, November Tango, of course, uses the 9700, and I think you'll find that Jeff also uses is in terminal mode, so maybe that's something else for you to explore. Nick and I are using the 705, we work in terminal mode, and Jeff, I think, works the same way as well. So obviously Jeff can confirm that when he comes round to his over. But that might be another way of you accessing the net, whereas using terminal road, you're not having to go through routers and the PCs and things. You connect it literally straight into your Wi-Fi there. So something else to play around with. Right, I'm assuming there'll be a photograph coming at the end there, Lou. No need to reply on that one. Over to you there, Nick. G4IW in the group, M0AG.
M0AG in the group from G4IWO. Yeah, I had a few problems with the PC here, I'm afraid to say, and I had to reboot the PC and start the streaming all over again. And then there was a little problem that Andy 2E0REE pointed out to say that the screen picture was very small, and I made that larger and that was fine. And then he said, but now the audio has gone very low. So hopefully I've got that resolved now, and I am monitoring it as people have been going along, and we have got audio coming out, I believe. So hopefully that's all working now. So yeah, it's very interesting, Lou, your work on your shack there, which does indeed sound very small. we've got a radio amateur who doesn't live a million miles away from me, who is a very, very active contester. And he's got 3 huge towers and a selection of beams on the farm where he lives. Incredibly impressive. And when I went up to his shack is literally in the tiniest cupboard. There was just room for 2 of us to get in the shack, and it is absolutely tiny. And he spends his life really very, very keen. He's an avid contest operator, and has been for many, many years on CW. And he's obviously very comfortable there by himself, but probably a bit too small for most of us. So anyway, back to you, Jeff. M0AG in the group, G4IWO.
G4IWO in the group, M0AG anyway. Thanks for the update on the YouTube channel. I forget who it was who mentioned that he didn't have the audio of that. That might have been Martin, in fact. And if it wasn't Martin, you can let me know whether you've got the audio back up again or not. Yep, it's not the size of the shack that counts, it's the size of the antennas. And there we are. So thanks for the update on that one, Nick. Over to you there, Bob. I'm the Forex Alpha Tango in the group, M0AG. 0AG with the group, X-ray Alpha Tango. In many ways, I miss my tower and my large antennas, but on the other hand, I can't really complain with the setup that I have here. I think I do fairly well with the mag loop and the vertical antennas that I use with traps. Normally, I use this round to bring you up to date with my POTA. I was really afraid that I was going to lose my standing because of the bad reception over the last few days. However, I held it. I held 693, and all of a sudden this morning I came up to worldwide 692. So I really can't complain. I hope that I can keep it where I don't get back into the 700s again, where I can at least hold the 600s. So this morning, noontime, your time, I had 3,386 parts, and I believe that I got at least 2 today, but I'm not positive unless they reported, of course, and I could have got more, but I'm pretty sure that I saw at least two new parts. So and Forex Alpha Tango in the group M0AUG. I think you just dropped out there, Bob. Are you still with us? Nothing heard from Bob this time. One more call. November 4 X-ray Alpha Tango in the group. M0AUG. M0AUG, do you hear me? Yes, I do now, Bob. You just dropped out. Go ahead, please. Well, I don't know where I dropped out, so I won't hold it too long. Currently, as of this morning, my standing was 692 worldwide in the POTA group, and I had 3,386 parts confirmed, and I believe that I got 2 more today if they report it. I got at least 2 more today if they report it. Back to you, Jeff. I won't hold it. Thanks, Bob. That's fine. It was just the very, very end that we missed on the over there. So well done on maintaining your position in the league on the parks there. Over to Mike and Adriano again, please. DL1BJW with DL8 BDT in the group. M0AUG. I hope you're both well. Over to you, Mike.
Delta Lima 1 Bravo Juliet Whiskey. Yes, fortunately we are both okay and well. Poor Jeff on 8 November Tango isn't so well as we hear.
So Spoedig sub, good health to you, Jeff, and hopefully very soon better health. The achievements of Bob and for XAT are always breathtaking, so to speak. It's absolutely amazing what Bob is achieving with his very limited antennas, you have to say that, and very limited power, but great results. Congrats to that. Radio-wise, not so much to report on my side here from the last week. On FT8, I had contact into Mauritius again with the new stations. I didn't work before that. 3 Bravo 8 Golf Lima. That was okay. And CW, I did some contacts into Canada and US. Again into Guinea-Bissau, Juliet 51 Alpha. You can't escape them, I think. I've worked them so often now. it's unbelievable. But of course, it's quite favorable positioned to our QTH here. It's due south, so to speak, to Guinea-Bissau, and seems to be the right distance as well for a very favorable hop there. Another CW station I worked at noontime was on 20 meters China, Bravo Golf 5 Tango Oscar X-ray. That was quite difficult, but of course there's lots of landmass in between our 2 stations there. No water to reflect the signal, but only lots of earth, so to speak. And it was a little bit difficult, but in the end I succeeded. And I have to say the station was very, very patient, and that was a very favorable impression on myself. I have to really say that's something to applaud. He was very nice about that. So far from my side, passing the microphone to Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango.
DL.
So I hope you can hear me. I'm not sure if this is Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango.
Yes, no problem, Adriana. Please go ahead.
Oh, yes, it's good. That's fine. So from my side, I can report that we did finally some tests outside in the garden with our new coil from JPC. We have the JPC 12 antenna since several years, but the coil with which it comes goes only up to 40 meters. And now we saw that there was another coil which was available, which runs up to 80 meters. And we did some tests for this coil, not only with a JPC 12 antenna, but also with the little red one socket and the 5.9 meter vertical antenna. And then another test with the short antenna, which belongs to the JPC 12 and running a radio system, little more radios than we had with a long antenna. And both setups work, not very good on 80 meters with a short antenna, but it's possible to tune in and to make contact. So we have hope to test this out if the weather conditions allow this. And with a short antenna, which I think the width of the JPC 12 has about 2 meters, 8 feet. Might be possible to put this small whip and the long coil on a mag mount onto the car, because there might be good success with it, with a good earth. And the 8 feet whip and the shorter coil worked quite well during the last summer when we were outside on the dike and worked with a setup with a shorter coil on 20-meter Australia. So the conditions are not as good as last year now, but I think with a longer coil, 80 meters and 40 must be a little bit better possible there. So these are the tests we did here, and so let's hope for the best, that there will be a lot more possibilities to do some antenna tests in the future. So I hand the microphone back to M0AG for the group.
DLABT with DL1BJW in the group. M0AG returning. Yes, fine enough, and final contact with China. I remember many years ago when I was down working with the Oldham Club, which is where we used to live. And we used to do a lot of special event stations in those days. And there was one particular one where we were down on an area in Oldham called Clayton Playing Fields, which was one land area which had been bequeathed for the use of the people of Oldham for sporting activities. And the local council were trying to take it back again for housing, but that didn't work. So there used to be an annual event there, and the Oldham Club was always invited down there. And we went down there, put our tent up there, and raised the antenna, which was a gym pole. And as soon as we connected to the transceiver, we could hear a call coming out with BA something over. And everybody was standing around scratching their head saying, who's BA, who's BA, where's that from? So I just said, well, why doesn't somebody pick up the microphone and ask the question? So that was the story of the gin pole and BA. Nice memories. So over to you there, Jeff, and I hope you're feeling better. Oscar November Tango, M0AG.
M0AUG, the group, already November Tango. Well, I'm on the right side, on the good side of the two, I think. So I'm feeling better now since yesterday. Actually, it's a little bit up and down, but I feel much better. And first of all, congratulations, Bob, to staying there in the 600 category. Very nice, and to Mike for working 3 Bravo 8. Another 3 Bravo 8, and Adriana with her test, very interesting test you are doing there, Adriana, very, very nice there. And of course, congrats, Lou, with your IC9700. I must say, if you are interested in satellites, this is the best thing to do, I think. It's a brilliant transceiver. I'm even using more the 9700 than the 7300. I really liked it more because it has so much possibilities. Not only DStar, but I'm using it to do some contesting on 2 meters, 70 centimeters, even on 23 centimeters. Do some FT8, yeah. If there is an opening on FT8, well, very easy. And when I was in my flu period, so to say, one of the things which is very easy is doing FT4 on satellites, on the RS44 and on JO97, because that takes only 10 minutes or so. So I just was active 10 minutes and then sit down again in the sofa and enjoy a rest. So really great, Lou. That's the thing to do. Of course, in the beginning there is a certain learning curve, but I'm sure you will survive that. The other thing I have done during my flu period is also listening to the RACSU on 3DV Rade on 40 meters. There is always some activity, be it English stations or German stations or French stations. always some stations around to have a listen to. So and it's comfortable. It's like 2 meter FM, so really enjoy that. Okay, though I'm using terminal mode. That's true. I'm using the internal terminal mode. I'm not using DOOSI. I'm using the internal terminal mode directly into the internet cabling here. And I have a picture for the end of the transmission. So I put it back to you, Jeff. Mike 0 AUG, the group, for 8 November Tango.
Well, ain't I'm Tango in the group M0 AUG turning. Yeah, fine and that, Jeff. I'm glad to hear that you're feeling on the better side of the flu. And I'm sure Lou will be very interested in your comments on the 9700. And I can see the two of you having quite regular contact whilst Lou gets into the various features of it that you've obviously mastered there, Jeff. So thanks for that. I know that you'll help along the way and everything that goes with that one. Right, over to you then, Martin. G4WJX in the group. If it was you who was having trouble on the YouTube, I'll get back on track now. Over to you, M0AEG.
Yes, from G4WJX. I completely lost picture and sound on YouTube, so I've actually just shut it off now so it doesn't distract me. So yeah, I lost it just during the last over. I kept trying to get it back but gave up in the end. I've also got the 9700 here. It's a very recent purchase for me. I got a second-hand one from somebody near Manchester Airport not many weeks ago, and I'm running terminal mode via DOOSI. I just found internal terminal mode so slow to work, having to change settings all the time, whereas DOOSI you just click and you're straight into whichever XLX reflector you want to. It's very, very easy. But I'm also just starting to get to grips with satellites. I just put a new antenna up yesterday, an M2, a egg beater. For 2 meters, I haven't got the 77s one up yet. That's going to have to be a little while to get that one up. I've got a picture of that on my mast that I was going to show. But I'm just starting to listen using a program called Skyroof. And Skyroof does all the settings for you for satellite tracking. With the 9700, if you load a program first called SkyCat-D, and then use Skyroof, it does all the connecting for the 9700 automatically, all the frequency control. It seems to be very, very good. So that's what I intend to play around with at some point over the summer once I get the 77's egg beater up as well. HF-wise, I've just put a 4-to-1 balun at the bottom of my 4.5 meter vertical. Because the internal ATU of the 7600 would work it from 40 meters down to 10 meters. But now I've put the 4-to-1 balun at the bottom, and I can actually use 5 megs, 60 meters. So I've been playing about on 60 as well. So that's something very new for me. Also, J51A, I thought I'd work them on 7 bands, but when I checked the log, it's just 5 bands. But I'm very pleased with that. Anyway, back to you there, Jeff. M0AUG in the group, G4WJX.
G4WJX in the group, M0AUG here returning. Yeah, finally comments on terminal mode. It is a bit fiddly if you're moving around to more than one reflector, having to change the settings on there, and I can see why maybe the DOOSI option is the best one for you if you spend much time, moving around the various XLX reflectors that you use. And I know in the early days of XLX reflectors, a very friend of mine built a little module based on Raspberry Pi, and which I could connect into the internet, and then the 705 And it stores all the information and the settings from the various reflectors, and you literally just have to go into the 705, and it picks up one of the channels there for the last ones you'd used, click on the button, and it was connected again. So that was interesting. That's going back a year or two. Right, back on to the top of the list again now, and probably getting time for finals for those who are not doing pictures this week. DG6OAY in the group, M0AUG. Over to you, Frank, for your finals.
DG6OAY for the final. Yeah, as Nick suggested, I will try to get DStar working in the submarine. I'm setting up the internet, so I can also just try out my hotspot and be online on this Reflector. If you like, or if you have a request for a certain band or so, then I could try to arrange something. But showing DStar to the visitors is not so interesting. The visitors are used to global communication via the cell phones and the internet, so DStar is actually not a miracle for them, and also I have to operate it for them to demonstrate them international communication or worldwide communication. But if they have something like a CW key and a Morse decoder, then they have something which they can interact with their own hands, and that is always a lot more interesting. Yeah. If Lou has finished his shack rebuild, then I would like to invite him over here to rebuild my shack, but that will be a challenge. I have a certain setup. The radios are changing not so often, but I think the interests are shifting and changing, and so some radios are not getting enough use, and sometimes others are more in use, and it's constantly changing. I'm jealous of the pictures on QZ.com of the clean shacks and the clean setups, but I doubt that they will always look the same, and they must also be rebuilt. Then finally back to Proda, that is at least the possibility to set up on each activity a new shack somewhere in the outdoors, and then every setup is unique, and I can play with different radios, decide to take different radios with me each time, and that is a good playground. And of course, I also enjoy listening to Bob's reports every time and his achievements. So Proda is a great program. It's a constant program, not like just one weekend with a contest. It's constantly operating, and there's each day something is happening, and you don't know what the next day, what parks are on the air the next day, and so it's always interesting. And with that, I would like to close, say 73 to everyone, and hope to meet you next week again. So yeah, 73 from DG6OAY from Northern Germany.
DG6OAY in the group M0. Returning. Yes, well, I'm not, Frank, and thank you as usual for joining us this evening, and the station down at Leicester Park for the ISGB. It's an incredible operation down there, and apart from I think a couple of the supervisor, manager, and somebody else, all the rest is worked by volunteers. And I think I was saying that there's something like 60 volunteers actually keep the Leicester Park station for the ISGB open 7 days a week during the season. And I tell you, if I lived 100 miles nearer to Leicester Park than I do, then I'd be on the volunteer list, absolutely no problem at all. So thanks for coming on there, Frank, and hope to catch up with you next week. So, over to you for the final there, Rolf. K5ULE in the group, M0AUG.
K5ULE, just want to say right off the bat, I really do enjoy this net. You got a great bunch of hams on here, and I look forward to this every Thursday. So, I just had a pop-up on my Facebook page. I built my hotspot March the 18th, 2016. And other than having to change the PI out once because I broke the SD card connector, that hotspot's been running for 10 years. Hope I didn't jinx it. So it's been running full strength. I put a wire on it so I could update the firmware through Linux, and it's been working ever since. So I'm not knocking it. I did watch the M1 MRB's presentation on the QMX assembly, and that was very fascinating. That was very well put presentation. I actually talked to him on the ICQ podcast digital group. So other than that, that's about it. We're just enjoying some sunshine and getting ready to take back off to tomorrow to the what you guys call a rally. We go to this one every year. I've been licensed since 1984, and I maybe missed 1 or 2 years. So I go every year. It's like Mecca. So 73 to everybody, and we'll listen to the picture section starts. So 73, we will be here next week, and we'll hang out on the YouTube channel and see what else we can pick up. M0AUG in the group, okay? 5UA 73, everybody.
Okay, 5UA in the group, M0AUG returning. You're finding that off, and thank you for being a regular on this group as well. I'm so pleased you're enjoying the content as well. Have a great day at the rally tomorrow. And I've been licensed since about 1990, I think it was. But I used to go to rallies probably for 10 years before that. So, yeah, rallies have changed a lot over the years, but they're still enjoyable places for most of them. And Pennine HaM, of course, have a stand at the rally, the Nelson Rally in Blackpool. I think that's on the 12th of April. I'll just check. It's a Sunday event, and I think that's on the 12th. Yep, 12th of April, the Blackpool Rally at Norbury Castle, and that's one that's been up at the Blackpool area for many, many years. And this is where lots of people in the northwest of England come to meet up with the dolls and things and everything else. So do enjoy it. Nick and I are running a stand for Pennine HaM, and also by the side of that, we're also running the stall for the GQRP club, and hopefully we'll get one more than the Shuvers just to run the stand for the day. It was a good day last year, and I hope it's as successful this year. Thanks again, Ralph, for joining us, and enjoy your rally. You can tell us all about it next week. Over to you, we're also Northern Germany then, before we start the picture jobs now. DL1BJW with DL8PDT in the group. Over to you, Mike, M0AUG.
Delta Lima 1 Bravo Juliet Whiskey with the final. Yes, that was a very nice evening. Again, thank you very much to all of you. And, yeah, was nice company, very interesting things to listen to, very interesting topics, and as always, good ideas. So thank you again for that. Looking forward to our meeting next week. Hope everybody will have lots of interesting things to relate to tell then. And until then, 73s from Delta Lima 1 Bravo Juliet Whiskey, all the very best. And I'm passing the microphone to Delta Lima 8 Bravo Delta Tango.
Yeah, thank you very much for this interesting evening, and thank you, Jeff, for hosting the net. It was very, very interesting as always, and so all the best to all of you, especially to Jeff, Owen, 8, and T. I hope that your health problems will be solved soon and that you will feel better soon. And yes, hope to meet you down the log. Bye-bye, 73 and 88 from Northern Germany. See you. I hand the microphone back to M0AUG for the group.
DL8PDT with DL1BJW in the group, M0AUG. Thanks, Mike and Andrea, for your usual good contributions to this group. You were two of the core members of this group, don't forget, since whenever we started it. It's just nice to have other people coming along and joining us and sharing their experiences with us. So we'll sign off with 73 and 88 to you both. and we'll go to the people who are now taking the pictures. So we'll start off with you, if we may, then, Lou, please. G8JJJ in the group, M0AUG.
M0AUG and the group GAKJJ. Yes, thanks, Jeff. And just a few points, comments to make. Nick, this shack's what you might call snug. It's snug. You can get 2 people in it at a push. I've got 2 grandsons, both interested in radio. One is a licensed amateur, and he does come in occasionally. He's at university at the moment, so I don't see much of him, but he does come in. But it's very tight, and I don't think he appreciates it. It is a very snug shack. And Jeff, it is a learning curve, and I may well pick your brains on this new rig. I do have an advantage. The ICOM 7100 has a lot of the features that, or some of the features, I should say, that the 9700 has, but there are a lot of features that it contains that I have no clue about. So I may well come to you and pick your brains on that. And terminal mode, yes, probably eventually. That's not a priority. This ID50 seems to work reasonably well for DStar, and it's more important that I get this new rig on FT8 and on satellite. That's the main one. And Martin, I'm interested in Skyroof. I have been looking at G-Predict, which does a similar job, I believe. But I think I might have a look at that as well. So thanks for that information. And that would be quite useful. And thanks also to Jeff for hosting the net. And very good evening to everyone. 73s to everyone. I'll send the picture if you'll QRX one.
GAKJJ, 0AUG. Just one block on the bottom row of mine there, Lou. Do you want to just send it again for completions, please? GAKJJ, 0AUG, yeah, perfect this time, 100% there. One thing I think you can also consider with the icons, although I've experienced myself, icon do some remote software, don't they? So in the summer months, even though your radio's in the shack up there, which I'm assuming this is what we're looking at now, you could probably run it all whilst sitting down in the garden having a G&T or something. Just a thought. I'll pass it around to the other users for their comments on that. Over to you for your comments, Nick, please.
M0 AUG in the group from G4IWO. Yeah, I got the picture. I'll post it on the WhatsApp group later on. And all I'd say to you, Lou, is that looks an absolutely fine operating position. When I was living down in Essex before I moved up to the north, up into the Pennines, I was literally the only space, the spare space we had in the house at the time, it was underneath the stairs. So I was cramped underneath the staircase. And I can tell you, for someone who's 6 foot tall, my shack might have looked like your picture there, but at least once a day, when going in the shack area to operate the radios, I would stand up forgetting that I was underneath the staircase. So at least you're not suffering from that. And Jeff, before I come up with my picture in a bit, the RSGB, of course, at Bletchley Park has volunteers, one of whom is one of our active club members, Henry M0ZAE, who lives down in Bedford. And Henry is a regular volunteer there and has been for many, many years. And as you said, Jeff, he thoroughly enjoys it. And also I just wanted to get 2 plugs in. One was for our member Luke M7OPK, who is a teacher, and he's running a Morse club at his school, but he's also going to set up a radio station in the school next week, on next Thursday, this time next week on the 26th, between 2:45 and 3:45. So not sure what frequencies he's going to be operating on or what gear he's using, but we'll find out for him before this week, and if necessary I'll put it in an email to all club members, because Luke was appealing for people to come in and get some QSOs with some of the students in his school class there. And finally, I just wanted to say that, and I've posted this on the WhatsApp group, but I think it probably does need to go in a club email. The magazine called SWR Magazine, which has been produced by some radio amateurs in Puerto Rico, in English as well as Spanish, is I think brilliant for a non-national club magazine. And the latest edition of it has two bits of interest, I thought. One was the regular section they have on antennas, and they've described there a J-pole antenna for 6 meters and for 10 meters, which looks pretty interesting and maybe something worth replicating. And the other thing they've started this month is what they're calling female frequency. They're going to have a column aimed at YL and XYL operators in amateur radio, and that would be very good as well. So maybe Adriana, there's a job for you there to email SWR Magazine and say you would be very happy to contribute a column to the female frequency in one of the later editions. Just a thought. Back to you, Jeff. M0 AUG in the group, G4IWO.
G4IWO, M0AUG. Yeah, thanks for that, Nick. I'll go for the other sort of pictures first, and then we'll come to you towards the end on that one. That gives you time to putting the pictures up on the YouTube channel. So over to you for any finals of your picture, Bob. November 4 X Alpha Tango in the group, M0AUG. 0AUG with the group, November 4 X Alpha Tango. First, thank you for once again running the net tonight, Jeff. It is appreciated. And second, Lou, that looks like an icon on the left and Kenwood on the right. And the screen is just about the same size, I believe, as my screen. I missed a couple of blocks within the screen, but nothing critical, so that's fine. The picture that I have, my mother's set of my mother's grandparents emigrated from Gerstetten, Germany, to the United States, to Philadelphia. And we still have relatives there, which I have visited, and we have relatives in Clover Bishopheim. The picture that I'm sending today, I did take, and it's of Gert Shedden from the hillside. The bad part about it is about the first third of the picture is sky, so you'll get a lot of sky in this. Stand by, and I'll send it in just a minute. And 4XAT. I've got about 4 blocks on my own, and unfortunately not in the sky there, Bob. Could you send again, please? Thanks, Bob. That's 100% with me now. I'll just go back to Lou and to Nick first of all before moving on to the others, and then Nick can actually put that one up on the YouTube channel. JKJJ in the group, M0AUG.
Yeah, 0AUG in the group for JKJJ. Yeah, that's 100%, Bob. And nice picture, very nice picture. But it's a lot of sky.
Thanks for that, Lou, and the comment, please, Nick.
M0AG group from G4RW, a lovely picture, really, really smashing picture. Back to you, Jeff, M0AUG.
Thanks, Nick. Over to you, Jeff, for comments on Bob's picture and also the one that came from Lou beforehand. Oscar November 8, November Tango in the group, M0AG.
Yeah, okay, Jeff. Well, the picture of Lou, just like you, I had one block missing on the first try, and then perfect on the second try, and the picture from Bob was 100% from the first try. Very nice picture, Bob. Nice to see your shack, Lou. Gives an idea of how it is working there. And a very nice picture here from Bob. I really feel like being in Germany, HI.
Thank you. Comments from you, please, Martin, on both pictures so far. G4WGXLX305D.
Yeah, both pictures good. I just got 2 blocks missing in the sky on that last one. That's all good. Nice and clear. Nice view. Was it 9.5 kilometres from Hardheim? Yes, something like that. Yep, both very good. And certainly that shack's a lot tidier than mine from G4WJX.
G4WJX in the group M0AUG. Right, do you want to send your picture whilst we're on then, please, Martin? Over to you.
Yep, will do. This is mainly sky, but I just thought I put this up yesterday, so here's just the latest antenna that I've got at the side of the house.
100% for me there, Martin. I wish. I live on a residential park and we've got big restrictions up there, so something like that would be absolutely spectacular. Nice picture. I'll go around for comments there. First of all to you, Jeff. Pennine HaM 0AG.
Okay, Jeff, 100%. That's the egg beater antenna for 2 meters, I think. Excellent antenna. Excellent picture, 100%. Perfect. Back to you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff. And a comment from you, Lou. GKJG, M0AG.
Yeah, that's a great picture, 100%. And I'm very interested in that, Martin. I'll be interested in how you get on with it. Because I'm using a Yagi and a Moxon antenna and a little rotator. But yeah, no, that's very interesting.
Thanks for that, Lou. And over to you, Bob. M4X Alpha Tango. Comments, please.
Martin, that antenna is beautiful. Actually, was just when the picture first started, but through the sky, even though there's sky behind it, I can see that antenna perfectly, and I wish that I had it high, back to net control.
Thanks, Bob. Do you need it to be sent again, please?
Fine.
N4X.
Again, do you need to send it again, Bob?
Negative. It's fine the way it is.
Thanks for the comment. Comments, please, make G4IWO.
From G4IWO. Yeah, apologies to Martin, but seemed to be the only one who didn't get a 100% picture there. And it's going out currently on YouTube with some nice little black boxes over the top of it. So it'd be very helpful, Martin, if you could just send that again, and hopefully I'll get the complete picture. Back to you, Jeff.
Can you send it again, please, Martin? Over to you, G4WJX.
Yeah, will do. And there's the little 2 meter icon preamp underneath it in the left.
Hope that was better than that, G4IWO.
Yeah, G4IWO returning 100% copy. I'll get that posted up now. Over.
Thanks for that, Nick. Do you want to send your picture now, or do you want me to go to Jeff first?
From G4IWO. No, happy to send my picture now if you just QRX1. And I thought it would be worth posting on here today the photograph that Roger G4UFZ posted of the kit that he purchased from Hans's QRP labs for building the QMX Plus. I thought that was a lovely picture, and hopefully it will encourage maybe 1 or 2 people to have a go at building this transceiver. Just QRX.
G4 idle, we are quite a few blocks, Nick. Do you want to send again, please? That's clearly all with me, thanks. And over to you, Lou, JKJJ, M0AG.
Yeah, M0AUG in the group GAKJJ. Yeah, that's good. That's 100%. Very nice, Nick. Go ahead.
Thank you there, Lou. And over to you, Bob, M4XAT. I'm only missing three blocks, and they're all in different spots, so it isn't critical. I'll see it on WhatsApp, so it isn't critical that it be resent. It's fine the way it is. Thanks, okay, Bob. And over to you, Martin.
All good for me as well. I think I'm just missing 2 blocks, very top left, so nothing critical.
Thank you for that, Martin. Over to you, Jeff, for your comments, please.
Okay, Jeff, on the first attempt it was 95% and now it's 100%. It's surprising how detailed it is actually. I'm really surprised how good you could see the details. Mike 0 AUG, the group over 8 November Tango.
Alright, I'm playing on the group M0AG telling. Yeah, the details terrific on that, isn't it? So, I think that's everybody who's wanting to send one, Jeff, apart from you. Alright, November Tango, M0AG.
Okay, brilliant, Jeff. Mike 0 AUG, the group over 8 November Tango. First of all, thank you very much for sharing the net. It was a real pleasure to join the net here again, and very interesting contributions from people. And very interested, Nick, in maybe next Thursday make a contact with Luke. I think his new call sign is Mike 9 Whiskey Romeo Delta, if I'm not wrong. Mexico 9 Whiskey Romeo Delta. So really looking forward to maybe talk to the children in his class there. That would be brilliant. And okay, Martin, about the Skyroof, I haven't tried that one, but I have heard some very good things about it. So I think that may be a good solution for you, Lou, because I think you mentioned the Danish program, I think, which is good, but which is a lot of fiddling, and some people had some difficulties. We'll get it right. So quite complicated. I'm using the SAT controller from Charlie Sierra November Technologies in the States, which is a device with which I do the Doppler shift and actually steering the whole transceiver. So from a web browser I can steer the whole 9700 for satellite work. So, but of course you are at around $200, something like that. Okay, no. The picture. Oh yeah, this weekend there is the RITI contest from the British Amateur Radio Teletype group. So that's also a good one. If I feel good enough at EHI, I try to get my hands on. And thank you very much from everyone for your support with my flu EHI. I hope that will improve, and I hope by the weekend I will be ready to go for some RITI contest. The picture are the antennas from Ostend Radio, the maritime station, with the call sign Oscar Sierra Tango or Oscar Sierra Uniform. There was even Oscar Sierra Alpha, but that was Antwerp Radio. but the Oscars, those antennas that you will see in the picture, I could see those daily because I was living as a youngster, as a child, very near to that. Unfortunately, they have demolished everything, so those antennas are not there in the dunes. And the dunes very near to Ostend, that must be a dream for people who like salt water. I think that was a big antenna. And I remember the week before they demolished the station, the radio club from Ostend actually activated the antennas with Radio HaM transceivers. I had a whole week of farewell QSOs with people. Okay, so that's the picture. Ostend Radio is still around and has still some antennas, but inland, not far from me actually here, about 7 kilometers. It is now a maritime station and a military station, so it's one station, budget cuts each eye, so that's how it went. So here comes the picture, QRX.
Only 96, Jeff, from quite a few blocks. Can you go again, please? All clear, Jeff. That's an interesting picture, isn't it? Time's gone by, eh? Over to you on the list for your comments now, Lou. JKJJ, M0AG.
M0AUG in the group JKJJ. Yeah, it's 100% Jeff, and it's a great picture. I want one of those towers. Yeah, I definitely want one of those towers. They're brilliant.
Only one, Lou. Back to you.
Yeah, one's enough.
G8K.
Thanks for the comment and your comments, please, Nick. And I don't know whether you want to do a wrap at all before we just count the rest of the list. G4IW in the group, M0AG.
M0AG in the group from G4IWO. Yeah, that's a lovely picture. I think Jeff's been telling us fibs about his antenna farm. But yeah, that's a nice picture, Jeff. And yeah, just very briefly to everybody, first of all, big thank you to Jeff, M0AUG, for hosting the net again tonight, and also for the contributions of everyone at tonight's net. Always enjoyable, as it was tonight, like every week. And with our next meeting, in fact, isn't going to be for not next week, but the week after, where we've got Howard from the Long Island CW Club, who's going to talk about the success of the club and the CW classes and work that they're doing throughout the world in making more people get active on CW. We've got various other people coming up, including Dan Robinchek, KB6NU, who's a very, very interesting guy. Not exactly sure yet what subject he's chosen to speak on, but I do know that he's currently involved in a project about Martin Dew's life, the radio amateur who set up MFJ, which we will all be familiar of in this net here this evening. And Dan has got very involved in a project that to do some work on looking at his life history and how he got into setting up the company and the work that he's been doing. So back to you, Jeff. M0AG in the group G4IWO.
G4IWO in group M0AG returning. Yeah, I think Jeff's kidding us. I think that's his aerial file, really. And he's got some underground cables going on there, running from his flat out there. So, comments will Jeff in a couple of minutes. M4XLX305D in the group M0AUG. Your final comments, Bob, please. I agree with you, Jeff. He has some cables running. You know, he talks about running from his balconies. Now we really know how he gets out so well. Hi. That's a beautiful picture and great clarity in the picture. Great clarity. Back to you, Jeff in England. M0AUG and 4XAT. And 4XAT in the group M0AG returning. Yeah, thanks, Bob. Thanks for the comments as well. I'm glad you agree with me. It's a fine picture, it really is. Thanks for joining us this evening, Bob. We'll look forward to catching up with you next week. Over to you, Martin, for your comments, please. G4WGX M0AUG.
Yes, from G4WJX. Yes, I wouldn't mind one of those towers myself. I'm right at the bottom of a very tall hill it's literally, my back garden slopes up at about 45, 50 degrees up, and the hill rises maybe 100 foot above me, so one of those would be very nice. Just one quick mention to Lou, if you're going to try Skyroof with the 9700, don't forget run SkyCat D. That's SKYCAT-D for it does all the linking to the 9700. There's a lot of setting up if you don't, and SkyCat D just does everything for you. So you run that first, then run Skyroof, and Skyroof does all the Doppler shift, everything. It's very impressive for a free program. Anyway, thanks for the net again. Enjoyed it. I think I'm about next week. I'm not about the week after, but I shall catch up as and when. Bye for now.
G4X in the group, M0AUG returning. Thanks for joining the group and being part of it again this week, Martin, and glad you enjoyed it, and hope you can join us next week. I think that just about wraps it up. I don't think I've missed anybody out. I brought Mickey a little bit earlier to give him time to send the last few photographs up onto the YouTube channel. And I hope everybody who's listening on the YouTube channel has enjoyed the event this evening, as we have around the net as well, around the world, as they say. So thanks everybody for your contributions. Have a safe week, enjoy the hobby, and we look forward to catching up with you next week. This is Mike Zero Alpha Uniform Golf, signing off and clear from my station up on the Far Coast in West Lancashire for another week. So, see everybody. Goodbye.